You've got animal questions and we've got those answers. We all love spending the longer summer sunny days outside with our furry companions, but it is important to remember, like any season, summer comes with its own hazards. Today, our friend Tiffany Burk, Director of Education at the Bay Animal Hospital, joining us to talk about keeping your pet healthy this summer. You know, a little relief from the heat today, which is nice, but we're in the thick of summer. Those dog days not over yet. Talk a little bit about how you can make sure your pet is keeping cool.
That's a great way to kick off the segment. It is a wonderfully cool morning, a nice little break from what we've been going through. A way to kick off summer with your pet is to find ways to keep them cool. Traveling with water, fresh water in bowls, frozen yogurt, perhaps in a toy or treat, and exercising early in the morning or late in the evening to stay away from that hot asphalt because it heats up so very quickly. And if you are an active family, look where you're traveling. Make sure you know where your emergency veterinary office is where you're traveling, just in case your pet does experience some negative side effects from summer, like dehydration, heat stroke, overheating, or if you do have an accident at the beach or pool.
Yeah, well, and again, they can suffer from a lot of things that us humans can. Let's talk a little bit about what to look out for. They can get dehydrated too.
Oh yes, goodness, yes they can, especially if they're out running and playing, because summer is what we embrace with our pets. A sign of dehydration is, being really tired, lethargic, maybe not as responsive, dry nose or gums, kind of just not wanting to eat their food, laying down a lot, increased panting. Cats and dogs, the only way they can sweat, Matt, is through their paw pads and panting, not like us humans. So if you have a densely coated pet, they're going to get hot quickly. And if you have a smushed face pet, like a Frenchie.
The heat's harder on them, yeah. I have a Boston myself, a Boston Terrier.
They can't move air like maybe a Greyhound or a Labrador, so they can overheat quickly and become dehydrated. And if you're traveling and you suspect your pet is hot, take their temperature. If it's over 105 degrees, they're in heat stroke land and you need to cool them down very quickly. And stop cooling them once they hit about 102 to 103 because you don't want to get them too cold. And call your vet right away if they hit over 105.
Oh, interesting. See, that's good information to learn. I hadn't heard those numbers before.
Yes.
And then back to the hot surfaces. I mean, yeah, most animals have pads on their feet, but they can get burned too.
Oh, yes, they can. So if you are going out for a walk and you're thinking, gosh, it's a little warm, look at your watch, see what time of day it is, and use your smartphone, see how warm it is, because as the asphalt heats, those paw pads can get blisters and open sores. This year, we've been lucky. We've only seen one with a blistered paw pads, and it was by a sheer accident.
Sure.
And it's one of those things that, your day's going and you're out for a walk, perhaps at a beach, and you want to go for a walk. Stay away from that area. Cool grass, find plenty of shade for them to rest, and bring fresh water with you.
Well, I've always heard the 7-second rule. If you can't hold the back of your hand on the ground for 7 seconds, it's too hot for them too.
It is.
Let's talk a little bit more though about heat stroke. What exactly is that?
Heat stroke is when your pet not only is warm, but they crest over the threshold of safety with heat. And they will display signs of excessive panting, drooling. They don't want to be touched, a dry nose. It gets dangerous when they start having vomiting and diarrhea though. That means they're outing their fluids and they're not able to keep them in. And their temperature will rise quickly. And that's the dangerous part, because once they reach over 104 and they're cresting towards 105, you may see muscle tremors, maybe a wobbly, stobbly gait where they look a little bit drunk, for lack of better words. It's very dangerous. That means it's really starting to affect their brain. So that's when you call your emergency vet if you're on vacation, or your vet if you're home, and tell them what's going on so you can get there fast.
And then quickly here, what about water safety?
Oh yes, water safety. Pools, lakes, we all love swimming there.
I put my dog in a life vest to help him swim.
Good. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, life vests are very, very important, but dogs like to drink water and they don't know what's safe water and what isn't safe water. Pools have chlorine. Ocean water has, salt in it, and ponds and lakes sometimes are stagnant. We're concerned about algae blooms in lakes and fresh water. So if it looks kind of yucky, don't let them swim in it. If you're at the beach this summer, get some SPF and make sure it does not have zinc oxide, toxic to pets, and you want to make sure it's labeled for dogs and it's waterproof.
It should be on the label.
Oh yes, please check your label, and thank you so much.
Yeah, and then quickly, finally too, it should be a no-brainer, but don't leave animals in cars, right? It's too hot.
Please, yes. Yeah. Hot cars are not cool, and the cars heat up so fast within minutes.
Yeah, there's some quick numbers there on your screen to keep in mind on how quickly it can heat up inside of a car for your animals. All right, thanks again, Tiffany. You always fill us in with some great information. Good to see you.
You too.